Hello, welcome to my presentation. Thank you all for coming. I'm Charlie Kefauver, thanking the panel for coming to my presentation. So here's some stuff about me. I am an honors student right now in the 10th grade. I'm a huge nerd about science. I love it to death, like just big in science. I like medicine in particular, but I also enjoy things like zoology, which is the study of animals. I'm a metalhead. I feel like anyone who knows me knows that. Just big into metal. I want to go to an Ivy League school because I am ambitious, and a lot of them look like places I would enjoy going to, where it's just like, okay, instead of having monotony, it's just like doing something brand new that no one's ever done before every other week. Hooray! Awesome! And I play guitar. Love guitar. It's a fun thing to do. It's a good de-stressor at a lot of times. And also, I put that down because of my next slide. I got my cats. It's got my father's cats here, which are Mac and Roger. And then we have my current cats. That one's Cosmos, that one's Calypso. And then my no longer with us cat, I just realized I spelled that wrong. My no longer with us cat, Crash, and a beautiful picture that I found of him in all his 20-pound glory. Okay, so now then on to actual work. Here's my LP goals. This year, I wanted to become more of a, one of my LP goals was I wanted to become more of a leader, because I'm always like a follower in most situations. I'm just like, tell me what to do and I'll go do it, rather than like, I want you to do this. I don't delegate tasks, I take the tasks and do the tasks. So I wanted to be more of a leader, because in a lot of cases I take too many tasks, and then I end up having this much while everyone else has like this much to do. It always really bothered me when I had to do that kind of thing. So this year I tried to be more of a leader and helped with getting tasks on like everyone. So my other one is one I'm reusing from last year, and it's just really, it ties into the whole wanting to go to an Ivy League school thing. I want to get an A- or above in all my classes, which is very tough. I don't think I've actually succeeded that yet, with like that one darn B+ in like every semester at this point. It's like that one B+, it really hurts. But I'm really trying my best, and even though it's nice to be able to check my grades every week, because it's just like, oh hey, grades, what's going on with my grades? And I've checked them so much this year. It was like every other class I was checking them. So those are my LP goals. So here is my year at IACS. My year was pretty uneventful, honestly. It was, at least compared to freshman year, when everything just kind of collided at once. This year it came and went, honestly. It was pretty fast. Nothing really super important happened. Nothing really life-changing. I had an actual job for the first time this year, which was kind of interesting. I worked at Canby Lake Park for a month or so, and it was kind of interesting to actually work for some kind of monetary value for once, instead of just school. The work really got tough near the end of the semester, both this semester I had a lot of breakdowns. Last semester was a little less, but it was like I kept complaining about the fact that I had a project in every single class. It was fun. And my grades were high for most of the year. I mentioned earlier that I was an honors student in 10th grade. I still am right now, and my grades actually were much better than I thought they would be for my first semester. Like compared to freshman year, I was actually really surprised and really enjoyed my grades. So I actually enjoyed a lot of my classes more than I did last year as well, which probably tied into the fact that I liked my grades a lot more, because like last year I had a lot of classes that were like either really boring or really stressful, or both at once, which is the worst. And this year I had a lot more classes that were like really appealing to me personally, and a lot more classes that I thought were just really fun. So here's the agenda, and I used one-word phrases to describe my projects. I'll let you take a guess on what I'm talking about. So we have my 3 projects, my connection to learning focus and the school-wide skills, my conclusion, and looking forward to the future, not forward. And my, did I put that? I think I did put unique learning focus. So my learning focus is, so I'm one of those people that likes to just jump immediately to the end of a project. Like, okay, here's the project, now read it all over, check it out, let's just do the final product immediately. It's a really bad way of thinking, especially for someone who wants to get good grades, because the rest of it is there to help you rather than just take up time. And this year was probably the first time that I truly felt like I needed the extra help to be able to make polished work, and that felt like it felt important to me. I feel like using the stuff that teachers give me and maybe even creating my own stuff to help like organize my work better and help me take shorter steps to the conclusion rather than just jumping immediately to the end of it was really important and helped me lead to more refined and clean work. This connects to my LP goals. Mostly it only connects to the one about getting an A- or above, because it connects directly to getting better grades with my projects. Like if I can create better work, then I can get better grades with that work. And then it leads to more happy teachers, which then leads to better grades. And it's really good for me. And I like my learning focus. I think it's a good one. So here's the projects that I'll be presenting that go along with that learning focus. We have Bees, French, and book. Those are my projects, and that's what they actually are. It's the Geometry and Art project, which is a math project, the Voices of the French Revolution project, which are for global studies, and the Character Analysis project, which is for ELA. So here's my first project, the Geometry and Art project. So what we were tasked, in this project we were tasked to create an art piece, like an actual art piece in math class. Crazy, right? But using geometry. So we were given like our teacher essentially said, here, use a compass for like all the work, make something interesting that relates like to circles in some way. So if you don't know, a compass is like that little thing that you put on a paper and it like creates perfect circles. So we had to use that. And I chose this project because I felt like it was some of my favorite work I did throughout the entirety of my sophomore year. I felt like it was really well done, and I was really happy with how it came out. And it was probably one of the projects that reflects my learning focus the best out of all 3 of my projects. So here's the work that I made. I made a beehive out of hexagons. I'm already contradicting myself, but no. The hexagons are made out of circles. You see, like, it's kind of hard to see here, but like, there's like, you got like a circle around this thing, and then there's like 6 other circles wrapping around it to create the separate points for the hexagons. And then I had to do them like, I did like the hexagons twice inside as well. It's a little messy in the inside, but it ended up looking really cute in the end, and I really liked it. It was really fun. I spent a lot of time and energy making this piece. I really like how it came out. So my school-wide skills. I felt like the only one that's really related to was my independent skills, because it was a very individual piece. You really didn't talk to anyone about this. Like, what would you talk about? Oh, I'm doing this art design instead of this one. What did you think of to do? Oh, I did this thing. No, that's silly. Why would you do that? So, the idea was my idea. Like, I feel like I didn't get much I feel like I didn't have much input on like the idea that I came up with, which relates directly to the idea of independent skills. Like, it's my work, my individual creativity, and like my learning that I did. So on to the next. Oh wait, now we have reflections first. So what I learned is how to make art using geometry. It was a pretty simple project, honestly, and that was like the only thing that it really related to. So how this relates to my learning focus. So during this project, it was split up into separate due dates rather than being like everything's due to this day, get it done by this day. No. Instead, we had to do separate parts of the project and like learn about how geometry and art works before we actually started to like draw something out, which was like a lifesaver for me, because when I first saw this project, I was drawing a complete blank on what I wanted to do with it. And like researching people about what they did, it was like, wow, that's some complicated stuff. What would I even do with this? And it was kind of stressful in the beginning because I was really nervous about what I would actually do. So I realized I don't like. I realized I really don't need an idea of what I wanted to do when I started the project, which I realized like halfway through that like, no, I don't need to know exactly what I'm doing right now. I can like figure it out as I go, because we didn't need to know an idea immediately. We just had to have a general gist of like what the project was and what we were going to be doing with that project. So about halfway through, I came up with the great idea of using